Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Refuge Sports Podcast. I am once again Justin, joined by my friend and part-time roommate, Evan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am Justin, apparently. I don't know why I said that.
I do call myself Justin.
I'm Justin once again. Welcome back, guys. It's been a crazy week of football. Been a crazy week of life.
Yeah.
But we are back. We're in the podcast studio, a.k.a.
Random
classroom.
Shout out to the academic building, 216.
Shout out. Yeah, so we are back. We're going to jump into just reactions from this past week. Crazy week of football. Crazy awesome, crazy horrible for people like me, but crazy in general. So we're going to talk about it. The Bills and the Dolphins, we both picked the Bills to win, and they did just that. They dropped, 41 points against the Dolphins?
I thought it was 48. I'm pretty
Really?
sure it was. I think it was 48. Yeah, it was
48 points against the Dolphins. Josh Allen was playing out of his mind.
Josh Allen is so much better than Tua that if Josh Allen were to get hit by a truck, I would still pick him to be my starting quarterback over Tua Tagovailoa. I'm so serious.
He is better.
He's in the
okay. Are the Bills a better roster than the Dolphins?
No.
You just think Josh Allen's significantly better?
I just think that the Dolphins are fraudulent because Tua is not good enough to make them a team that's going to be able to win in a shootout against.
Are they Super Bowl contenders?
Yes, I think that Dolphins. They are because I think everything about the team is great. But I would be worried if they have to go and win a shootout against Josh Allen.
Yeah, I like them. I like their odds better against like a team like the Chiefs. But I think just because the Bills give them like defensive struggles more.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs' defense is good, but the Bills have a solid defense.
Yeah. I guess the Bills' team probably is better than the Dolphins. I guess maybe I'm overrating the Dolphins in my head just because of how good they looked the first 3 weeks.
I don't think you're overrating them. I think it was a matchup thing this week.
Yeah.
The Bills could drop a game to a nobody.
The Bills are,
I don't see the Dolphins doing that. It's like a weird kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Bills, Josh Allen has, I guess you could call it like, he has like a bozo gene.
Yeah.
Where he could just be
it's seasonal.
Yeah, he'll wake up one morning and be like, you know what? I'm gonna play like I'm the best quarterback alive. And then like the next Sunday he's gonna wake up and be like, yeah, I'm feeling 3 picks, 2 fumbles. Like the Bills and Dolphins, if you catch the Bills on a good day, you catch Allen on a good day, they're gonna beat pretty much every team in the league.
And I've said it from the start, like they could win the Super Bowl. Yeah. Like they're my favorites.
You said that before the season started, and I was like, I don't know, man. Yeah. But I see it now. I do.
We're gonna talk about the Titans-Bengals. Titans held the Bengals to what, 3 points?
27-3.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know what I was expecting from that game. You know, I thought maybe Burrow bounced back, Bengals looked good. And they finally bounced back. I mean, it was around this time last year where the Bengals started to bounce back, win some games, play better. I don't really see that happening.
I do.
I see it happening, but he just looks.
We've said that multiple weeks now. Like this is their week; they're going to bounce back.
They look
dropped
awful.
3 points. But I will say, Tennessee's defense has been
it's been criminally underrated for years. Yeah. At this point,
their pass rush is very solid. Joe Burrow was pressured all night.
Which day. It was like a 1.
My bad.
It was a 1 o'clock game, but
night flows better.
Yeah.
He was pressured all night.
He was pressured all night.
They started out the Bengals like they got a field goal and then their second drive was okay, and then it was just 3 and out, pick, 3 and out.
I think it's because they just can't run the ball, but Burrow looks uncomfortable. I really think that this injury is like really, really bothering him to the point of like maybe they actually won't make the playoffs.
I think if they had an O-line where it wasn't that big of a concern for him to be under pressure, like his bad throws are when he's under pressure.
But every quarterback in the league is going to face pressure, and what makes you the best quarterbacks in the league are the guys that, you know, the guys like Mahomes,
right?
That can, like, I say guys like Mahomes. There is no one like Mahomes. His sack avoidance is absurd.
Yeah.
But, like, the best kind of have to... There's just never going to be a time where you're going to have a perfect offensive line where you're going to never face pressure. But, I mean, he looked... It wasn't good, man.
Yeah. And their defense was bad, too. Like
the whole team does not look good.
Yeah.
Did they beat the Rams 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Were they coming out of...
No, last week, I think.
Well, yeah. So they had just beat the Rams, and then they played this week.
I'm almost positive.
Hoping to win 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... I don't really know. Maybe we should start having legitimate concerns about the Bengals.
I think they've been there, but...
Well, we were like talking about it like, yeah,
right.
They'll get over it.
They'll get over it.
But
to a certain degree, they will. Like, they're not going to score average 3 points.
There's
no team
no
does
way,
that.
yeah.
But, man, that's definitely concerning. Against the Titans?
Yeah. The Titans are good, but you would hope to score more than 3 points and to give up less than 27 points against the Titans.
Let's go to Eagles against the Commanders. It went to overtime. That was a crazy game.
Dang, man.
Washington started out crazy in the first half. Then they scored 0 points in the third quarter. Then they scored 14 in the fourth quarter, forcing overtime. Man, I'm stuttering.
We were watching that game, and when Howell threw the touchdown, we went nuts.
Yeah.
And I just remember, go for 2. I was just saying, go for 2.
He had a big bounce
Go
back
for
game.
2. Why did they play for overtime against Philly? I don't get that, man. Why were they should have went for 2.
They should have won for the win. The way they were driving too.
Yeah, it was a great throw. I mean, Howell looked the Sam Howell agenda. I know you Sam Howell truthers are out there.
Mm-hmm.
The agenda is back, by the way. I'm not a big Sam Howell fan. I have no quarrel with Sam Howell.
Corral.
Matt Corral.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, the Commanders, when they're playing their best ball, they can beat big teams like the Eagles.
They're. I definitely underrated them a little bit.
And it's not like the Eagles were playing poor on offense. They were very efficient.
They were fine. Yeah, they were pretty good. A.J. Brown finally had his game where he broke out.
Mm-hmm.
He is pretty much unstoppable.
And he was torching Emmanuel Forbes, who's been very good.
Yeah. Eagles have been a little bit concerning in how close the games have been, but they've been finishing them out.
Yeah.
So
I think their defense will click more with their newer guys, and they'll be solid towards the end of the year.
It was a good game. I do wish that the Commanders came out with the victory with just how well they were playing. And if you were to tell me if it was Eagles won by 3, 17-14 is what I would have thought.
Sense,
They scored 37 points? 34 points?
Around 34, I think.
Yeah.
It was 34,
good on
31,
Washington for scoring that many points against
for
Philly's defense. That team,
Seriously.
they're going to win some games this year.
Yeah. I like their little group they got with Jahan and Terry and
I would
Brown
probably
Robinson.
compare them to the NFC's version of the Houston Texans. They're going to win some games.
Yeah.
Might not make the playoffs.
Right.
But.
Yeah. Speaking of the Texans.
Oh, you okay, Justin? How you feeling, man?
Honestly, I have no words. There's not much to be said. We clown Najee Harris all season, and he finally averages 5.5 yards per carry. And then the rest of the team plays horrible. It's the opposite of what's been happening.
Najee Harris plays good.
It's I don't even know what to say about this team anymore. We were, oh my gosh, this is what put me over the edge. This is what put me over the edge. We get down to 4th and 1. This is crucial, right? 4th and down, we line up in shotgun. And when Najee Harris is averaging, finally, five or more yards per carry, we line up in shotgun. Horrible play call. So stupid. That's the one time I want to be passive and run down the middle. Is when he's actually doing it
The one time you're okay with a jet sweep.
Jet sweep down the middle, Najee Harris, I don't care. That was... And our defense, people are overrating it.
It's not very good.
It's not very good. It's flashy. We get the turnovers, we get the touchdowns.
The only game where your defense really impressed me at all was the Cleveland game. And Cleveland's offense had their best player's leg fall off first half.
It was just turnovers. It wasn't even like we were playing the run well. Jerome Ford averaged 6 yards per carry.
Yeah, it was just turnovers.
It was just turnovers, and we're great at that. I'll give us that, but we're still one of the worst secondaries in the league. All our linebackers are new. Our defensive front is not good. Even with Cam Hayward, it won't be that good. We are not a good roster.
Yeah, we'll shout it from the mountains, but turnover-heavy defenses are only helpful when your offense is really good. So you'd prefer to not have a turnover-heavy defense if your offense isn't good? Because if you're relying on turnovers...
You can win 8 games, but you're not going to win a playoff game. That's the problem. I can't stand
How
this
tired are you of winning 8 games?
I'm tired, bro. I'm tired because I know it's going to happen. We're going to win 7 or 8 games somehow.
Steelers fan complains about winning games to Lions fan.
Dude,
this is our
I'm
life
allowed
right
to
now.
be upset, okay? Pat Freiermuth is down. Kenny Pickett, he might play this week. I'm glad it's not a serious knee injury, but man, I have serious concerns for this team. Like, we are not good.
But you're still going to win 8 games. Maybe even 9.
Dude, if Matt Canada gets some sense knocked into him, that's one thing. Like, Mike Tomlin will say some stupid quote like, yeah, not every chef's meal is going to be 5 stars, but then he doesn't, like, just fire him.
The cookie crumbles, man.
Like, oh my goodness, dude. I still want to keep Mike Tomlin. I love him as a coach, but it's just like, when do we get to the... Hello.
Okay, I'll let you guys...
Okay, thank you. Where were we?
Mike Tomlin. You want him to stay as your coach.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what just happened. Someone just, like, walked into our room. But basically, our team is horrible, and I'm really concerned. And we're still going to win 8 games, and the Steeler way, and the standard is the standard. And we do not care. And ratio. I am so mad.
He's
All right,
coping.
Let's talk about a better team. 2 better teams, honestly. Chiefs, Jets.
Okay, 2 better teams is a stretch.
Yes.
I will say, shout out to Zach Wilson, man.
For playing football.
He played well.
I know.
Dare I say, the next sentence might have even outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
That was our Mahomes bozo gene game. He has normally like 1 or 2 of them a season, whereas like Allen, Burrow, those guys, they have like 5.
Yeah.
So this was one of Mahomes' games where it's just random, plays dumb, but gets the job done in the end.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because they scored 17 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And let up, I don't even know how many unanswered points.
20?
Something crazy like that.
Yeah.
They only score 6 for the rest of the game. Like, they got shut down.
Yeah, I think it was 23-20.
Some stupid mistakes, too.
Yeah, it was...
Jets defense looked pretty good, too.
I also just... The Jets should be a better team than they performed, like, the first month. I think that the injury of Aaron Rodgers was, like, just gut-wrenching. I know they beat Buffalo, but then after that, got mauled 2 weeks in a row. Like, I think that this is going to start to be where the Jets bounce back and win some games. I don't know how good they'll be.
Right.
But they look like they're going to win some games.
Yeah.
It was, for all the people complaining about the refs, by the way, that was one of the most obvious holding calls I've ever seen in my life.
After the whistle was blown by like 10 seconds.
But it doesn't change the fact that it wasn't very obvious.
I agree,
hold.
but like you can't go back.
Okay.
You can't go back. It was like
referee. You made the right call. Just do it before Mahomes throws a pick. It was the right call.
I know. You can't
I don't
change
understand
your
why
mind.
people were like,
I don't.
"That's not a penalty."
Okay, yeah. If people are mad about the actual call, that's stupid. But the fact that it was called as late as it was crazy.
It was the same thing. I don't know. For me, it's like the Chiefs people are always going to complain about when they got calls. Like last year, people said the refs bailed out the Chiefs for the Bengals game when Mahomes got it was a very obvious late hit. People were like, the refs can't decide the game, and it was like, is he supposed to not call a penalty?
Right.
And same with the Eagles. Like, I don't know about you.
That was a hold.
It was really a hold.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
There's just people love to. The Chiefs have the Patriot effect now.
Yeah.
Where it's like everything that the Chiefs do is like, oh, the refs have to help you to keep the legacy. The NFL doesn't like it when teams win multiple years in a row. Like, I don't know if people don't understand that, but why would the NFL try to cheat the Chiefs into winning 2 Super... Like,
right.
that's not good. That's not
business,
good for the league if a team wins 2 years in a row. Which is the same thing as when the Patriots were winning. It was like, oh, they keep winning because of the refs.
With the whole Taylor Swift thing, it might be better.
Okay, maybe it'll be better for Taylor Swift.
Low-key, that's why they made the call.
Yeah.
No, low-key. Jersey sales are going crazy.
Make Taylor Swift happy.
Shout out Taylor Swift, mid-artist, but...
Our podcast is done. Thanks, Justin.
No women listen to this.
Yeah.
Not this far, at least. Shout out Noelle if you're still listening. Probably not. I love you. All right, we're going to do our way too early NFL awards. This is just who we think would win now or who we think will win based on, like, if they're not. Yeah, right.
If they stay the same.
Right. We're going to start with Coach of the Year. I want you to start.
For my Coach of the Year, I'm going to go with Mike McDaniel. I think it's pretty obvious. He's the favorite right now.
Yeah.
There's a couple other coaches that come to mind that I think could be great. I was thinking maybe Sean McVay if the Rams keep winning at like a random pace because he's carrying the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell, shout out.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell. Yeah, there's a couple names. I mean, Mike Vrabel's always going to be an option if the Titans keep winning.
Right.
But Mike McDaniel is looking like one of the next great offensive minds. The
For
Dolphins'
sure.
offense is looking incredible.
Yeah.
And he's a huge part in that. So I would give him the credit. Dolphins look like one of the best teams in the league, and it looks largely in part because of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give him the award.
And I would absolutely agree, but my pick is more like speculative for the rest of
Yeah.
the season. I'm going out on a limb. I think Coach of the Year, if this team plays how I think they will, just because of last week and what I watched them do to my team, I'm going to go DeMeco Ryans.
Really?
For the Texans.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. First year coach, winning Coach of the Year. I don't know how many times that's happened.
If it's happened. Yeah, I have no idea. But he, like, every video I've watched of him, he's just, like, an amazing leader, and it's shown on the field.
The Texans are winning games that they shouldn't be in.
And, like, the schemes look great. It's not even, like, it's just the roster got better. It's, like...
Well, the roster did get better.
It did, but
absolutely.
That's not why they're...
No. And Stroud
Fine.
looks so well coached.
Yeah.
Like we both thought Stroud was going to be a very good quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
But he looks so well coached, so polished.
Absolutely.
I love the pick.
Yeah.
I also think that signs of great coaches is when not only did the Texans beat the Jaguars and beat the Steelers, but they beat them by comfortable margins.
Right.
And that's a sign of good coaching.
Yeah,
You know, any
for
team
sure.
will go out and win a tough, gritty game for their coach in a divisional round. But, I mean, like, they crushed the Jaguars.
Yeah.
The Steelers, I don't know, what was the final score of the game? You don't want to... okay, I understand. But it wasn't close, like,
It
at all.
wasn't... No.
And it's... They are looking good and well coached. I
Yeah.
love the pick.
Yeah.
I love it. Shout out. That was a great call.
Yeah, I think if they win, like, 7-8 games, he deserves it.
Yeah, I think if the Dolphins win like 13 games, though, they'll
Right.
probably give it to
Yeah.
McDaniel. Normally they give it to a winning team,
And
but
I-
I love the DeMeco Ryans pick.
And I like all the names you threw out there. I just, like...
Shout out Dan Campbell.
I could not.
I would love a Dan Campbell coach of the
I was
year.
close. I was close to putting him.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Defensive Player of the Year. I'll start with this one. I got Micah Parsons.
3, 2, 1.
Micah Parsons. Yeah. When I think of Defensive Player of the Year, I just think of someone who makes the most impact defensively, gets the most stops, has the biggest impact. He plays everything very well.
It doesn't show as much on the stat sheet as it would if you were to just look at his numbers compared to other edge rushers.
Yeah.
But
Just watch a Cowboys
impact,
game.
it's not close.
Yeah.
That's just, you got to watch the eye
I
test.
agree.
Watch
And
a
that's
Cowboys
coming from,
game.
like, the biggest TJ Watt fan
And
ever.
I get it. If I had to pick someone that wasn't Micah right now, it would be Myles Garrett, just because of how Justin is quaking right now. He's not.
No,
happy.
he's great. He's great.
But you can throw numbers at me all you want about how Micah is not whatever you want to say, but watch a Cowboys game.
Yeah.
That guy,
He's incredible.
he, in all honesty, is like dark horse MVP candidate.
Yeah.
The best defensive, like on pace to be the best defensive player that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, same here.
He's incredible.
Yeah. Just be careful in the locker room. Offensive Player of the Year. Who do you have for Offensive Player of the
I
Year?
have Mr. Christian McCaffrey.
So do I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, another dark horse MVP candidate.
Wow.
The Niners run through Christian
Yeah.
McCaffrey. And pass, and
Yeah.
he even threw a touchdown last year.
Yeah. Again, I'm just thinking, like, who brings the most to the team, and he does so
It's
much.
Christian McCaffrey.
And I was close to putting Justin Jefferson because he does a lot for the Vikings, but the Niners are Super Bowl contenders, and if
And
you
the
take
Vikings
CMC
are
away,
trash.
I don't know that I'm as confident in them.
What was the Niners' record before they had CMC last year? Because they won 12 straight.
I'm not sure.
It was like 3-3, maybe 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
He brought something to that
Yeah.
offense that I never thought that they'd get, in all honesty.
And Shanahan schemes him up very well, but it's CMC.
He
made that impact in Carolina, too.
He just broke Jerry Rice's record for most consecutive touchdowns, or most consecutive games with a touchdown.
That's ridiculous.
I never thought that that'd be touched. He has 13 straight games where he scored a touchdown.
Wow. That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he is, again, another dark horse MVP. Him and Micah, we're going to have some not normal positions in some MVP vote. I know Micah got an MVP vote last year, but we're going to see
in my
some.
opinion.
Oh,
a lot of people were like, what? A
Yeah.
defensive player?
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on for comeback player of the year. It's DeMar,
It
right?
has to be DeMar
Okay.
Hamlin, even if, shout out to Russell Wilson and Baker Mayfield,
Yeah.
who have both
I
played
put
amazing.
Baker Mayfield for my honorable mention.
Yeah, they both played a lot better. It looked like their careers were just about done, and
Yeah.
they came out and played better. But
They're going to pick DeMar.
yeah,
And
it's
right.
It's
right. It's the right pick.
deserved. He with what happened last year.
Exactly. The
It's
fact that
deserved.
he's even back and playing, like he played
last week.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
So props to him.
hopefully he plays well. I'm excited to see what he does. Offensive Rookie of the Year,
Just say your answer.
CJ Stroud.
You are such a hater. You're
On?
such a hater. How is it not Puka Nacua? No, you sit here and laugh. He's on pace for the most catches ever in a season.
I don't care.
He's on pace for
don't
over
care.
2,000 receiving yards. For over 170
He's on pace for it.
catches.
He's on pace for it,
He
but he-
set the all-time record for most catches in 4 weeks for a player's first 4 games. He has 39 catches. What do you have against Puka Nacua?
Because
He should win this unanimously.
He is a good wide receiver. He is a system wide receiver.
Oh my god.
He is McVay's little puppet, and he does a very good job.
It doesn't matter if he's a system wide receiver or not. How could you not give him the award? He's about to be second in the entire league in receiving yards. He will shatter Justin Jefferson's receiving yard record if he stays on this pace. How will you not give it to him?
No.
Okay.
CJ Stroud.
Okay, I'll
has
take
been-
CJ Stroud.
Okay.
I will give it to you, but I
Puka
want...
was like my third spot.
How? He
Because
has to be-
Bijan brings more to the team than
No, he does
Puka
not.
Nacua.
He does not bring...
Yes, he does.
Puka Nacua scored the game-winning touchdown for the Rams this week.
Okay.
The Rams clearly rely on him, even if McVay's scheming him up. Sure, is he a system wide receiver? Probably. Was Cooper Kupp a system wide receiver? Probably. But the production is just so good that they clearly have to be good.
The production is great. I just don't care so much about production when it's he could put anyone on there. I know, obviously, worse wide receivers wouldn't do as well a job, but he's not that great. He's really not.
Watch him play.
And when Cooper Kupp comes back, obviously he'll still be playing well. They're going to scheme both of them up.
Washed.
But I don't think he keeps. I mean, he's on pace. That's great. I
Out
don't
with
think
the
it'll-
old, in with the new. We're
All right.
taking old, scrappy, dirt-handed wide receiver, daughter-dating wide receiver privileges have been taken from Cooper Kupp and given to Puka Nacua. We don't
He's
care.
eternally better than Puka.
No, he's not.
Okay.
He literally, Puka is bigger. Puka is. Don't watch a Rams game. Don't let Justin talk down about Puka Nacua. It doesn't matter. He schemed up. He had 140 yards 2 weeks ago. He had a bunch this week. I think it was 160.
Watch him get into open space with what McVay has for him.
doesn't
Watch him
matter.
drop a few
Why should
contested
it
catches.
matter? It's okay. We're never going to agree on this, but CJ Stroud is fantastic.
I don't know. Bro.
I guess the year that Justin Jefferson went absurd, he still didn't get it because Herbert had the best rookie quarterback season ever, and Stroud is on pace for a Herbert-esque season.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe they give it to Stroud, but Bijan over Puka is absurd. 4
Okay.
weeks in.
2A, 2B, whatever.
No, it's 1 and 2. 1A,
Okay.
1B.
Sure. We'll go defensive rookie of the year now. And I think we both agree on this.
Yeah,
one.
this one we should agree on.
And I was close, just because there's some good DBs. Forbes and Devin Witherspoon. Christian Gonzalez, but he's out for the season, unfortunately.
Are we going to say the best DB out of all of them? Brian Branch?
Oh, facts.
He's literally the best out of all of them.
He's been shutting down anyone.
He's been playing in the nickel. He's been playing outside boundary when they need him. His run defense is fantastic, but he's not going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, if you're wondering who we're talking about, we are agreeing that Jalen Carter. So I looked into the advanced analytics of Jalen Carter. So I do have. He has. Ready for this number because he's a defensive tackle, by the way. So he's not an edge rusher. He has a 23.2% pass rush win rate, which is second in the league for inside defensive linemen. If you're wondering who's ahead of him, it's Aaron Donald, and it's less than 1% less. He has 20 total pressures. He looks like an all-pro defensive tackle.
Yeah.
And as good as Brian Branch has looked, as good as Christian Gonzalez looked, so sad that he's going to be out for the rest of the season. As good as...
It sucks. That was my one thing, like my one excuse to watch a Patriots game.
Yeah, it was
to see him shut down wide receivers.
But Jalen Carter...
He's ridiculous, man. He's a monster.
I understand why he fell. There's a lot of concerns.
Why to the Eagles, though?
Yeah, why did we have to let it happen to the Eagles? They already had...
I really thought he was going to be a Raider. That's just an Oakland pick. I said that last week.
I was hoping that the Lions would take him. Obviously, we went a different direction, traded out. 9 teams are going to be kicking themselves that they didn't draft Jalen Carter. He looks like he's going to be wearing a gold jacket. Like, after 4 games, it literally looks like he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He looks ridiculously good. Yeah. But we'll see for the rest of the year. But as of right now...
Yeah, he looks amazing.
Hopefully Brian Branch would get a few votes, but Jalen Carter...
The way he's playing, he should. So
yeah. Watch a Lions game if you haven't yet. Brian Branch will be so fun to watch.
Him and Cam Sutton, man.
Cam Sutton is a lockdown corner. Oh, my gosh. I'm so happy. What is
NFL MVP. Cam Sutton. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we are going to do NFL MVP. I have a back-to-back. This is, again, speculative. I think Patty Mahomes just comes back, plays very well, as he has. I think he brings more to the team than any other player that you could say for MVP. They're not a very good offense, weapons-wise, other than Kelsey. I think he brings so much to that team. The fact that they're even Super Bowl contenders is crazy.
Pretty much just because of him. I mean, the defense is great this year, though.
Yeah.
Defense is great.
Solid.
But how many MVPs does Brady have?
I actually don't have that number.
Hold on. Let me... Oh, my gosh. Tom Brady has 3 MVPs in his entire career. And if Patrick Mahomes wins one more before he's 30... The goat truthers. Oh my gosh, I'm so back. He actually is not my MVP as of right now. Going through a lot of names. I have just about a short list of like 5, but I'm going to give it to the guy who I think is the absolute most valuable to his team.
Okay.
That, to me, is Justin Herbert.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over Josh Allen?
Over Josh Allen, actually, who is the other person that I was considering, because I don't want to give it to Mahomes just because he won it last year.
Yeah.
But
Chargers got to start winning games, and then I can see that.
I think that they will start winning games, though. All I'm going to say, don't look at a box score. Watch the game. It's such a huge difference, and one of the worst football discourses that we have is just when someone's like, they're genuine people that will like make a case that Jared Goff is better than Justin Herbert because they pull up the box score and it looks better. And it's like...
Those are the worst type of people.
Watch how valuable Justin Herbert is to the Chargers offense. I would argue that maybe only Mahomes and Josh Allen have more value to an offense at quarterback. And even then, I would give it to... If the Chargers keep winning, they've won 2 straight. Herbert has 7 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, already over 1,000 yards. Chargers have a pretty easy-ish second half of the season. If they win a bunch of games, sneak into the playoffs, Justin Herbert will be receiving MVP votes.
I like it.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah. And I love that. Love him as a player. So
he's a phenomenal quarterback.
It's a great pick.
Again, don't like him, then watch him play, and then you will. Oh, Lamar. Lamar deserves votes, but we're going to move on because
he has been playing very good.
We could argue about that for forever.
Let's talk about another quarterback who has just amazing talent. Not in the NFL yet. Caleb Williams.
Ooh.
There's been a rumor going around, floating a little bit for a couple days, from Total Pro Sports that he can reportedly make more money returning to USC, taking the NIL deal.
I believe it.
Than declaring for the draft. That makes sense. This part is kind of crazy. He thinks he can go to whatever team he wants, and he listed 5. This is a rumor, but he said the Cowboys, Raiders, Vikings, Giants, and 49ers.
So he said that he can play for whatever team that he wants.
Basically, I think, like, trade up.
Man,
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know how you can do that.
This seems a little weird. I feel like normally quarterbacks don't really go out and talk about, like, oh, I can get drafted by whatever team I want.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rumor, and he hasn't even said anything. So, but just those teams, like, if he was on the Cowboys, obviously, like, they'd have to give up so much, and I don't know if that's a risk they're going to take. And they're probably not, because Dak is good.
Dak is more than good enough. Yeah.
Raiders, I could see that, and I actually like that.
Raiders are blowing up the entire roster next year. I would hope, like, for the sake of the team, that's what they do. Mm-hmm. Caleb Williams on the Raiders, I do kind of see it.
Yeah.
But all of the mentions that you said on here, I mean, besides San Fran, again, San Fran and Dallas, it's like, it'd be amazing, but there's no way
they're not going to give up that much.
There's no way they're giving up that much.
They're already Super Bowl favorites. Contenders.
How much do you have to give up for Caleb Williams? I mean, I'm assuming the Panthers gave up 2 first-round picks and DJ Moore and a second-round pick. And they didn't even know which quarterback they were going to draft.
Right. And now
they were all very good prospects. But
Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams as a prospect is significantly better than Bryce Young.
So I don't know if there is trade up value.
Is this like 5 first-round picks and 2 starters? Like, what is
something
this?
Crazy like that? I don't think either of those very good teams.
I think that if I was the Minnesota Vikings, I would lose every game for the rest of the year. I would pay Justin Jefferson as much money as he wants. I would get the number 1 overall pick, and I would draft Caleb Williams.
Easier said than done.
You don't even need a team.
Yeah.
You have Caleb Williams and Justin Jefferson.
And Jordan Addison, former teammate.
Exactly.
They would be disgusting.
I love okay, let me rephrase this. I'm a Lions fan. I would not love Caleb Williams on the Vikings. Yeah. That would be awful.
Yeah.
But it would be probably Vikings fans' hope. Giants just paid Daniel Jones. I don't see it. But they could be really bad because they don't look very good.
But it's looking like if the Cardinals land at number 1, that he's going to declare he's going to pull out of the draft and return.
That cannot be smart on his part. Like, for NFL scouts, coaches, for him to, bail on a team.
Does it matter? It's the talent.
But we've seen talent not work out because of bad attitude.
So he'll go back to college and make $4 million in a year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But if I was Caleb Williams,
and the talent
I would be happy with whatever NFL team drafted me and paid me $50 million.
And I guess you're 1 year closer to a huge contract if you're as confident in yourself.
Oh yeah, I could make more money NIL. Can he really?
I think so.
He probably can. I believe him, but
then a rookie contract. But you might want to get into that rookie contract now so you can get paid more.
NFL coaches love the younger you are when you declare for the draft, the better, because it's another year of having you as a player.
Yeah,
I mean, it's football. You don't have as much time as. I mean, basketball players play for 15 years all the time. It's we don't really see football players do that with all the injuries. So, I see it, but if I were him, I'd just declare.
Yeah. I think he's going to be extremely good.
He'll be
in the NFL.
I would be surprised if he's bad.
Yeah. I would be very shocked.
I would be shocked.
I would be shocked if he wasn't instantly good.
He needs some coaching, but he should be instantly phenomenal.
Yeah. All right, let's move into our fantasy starts of the week as usual. Do you want to start out?
Yeah, I just got one start, and it is something Justin's not going to like. I would start Zay Flowers this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't hate that.
Steelers secondary looks like burnt toast.
Yeah.
And Zay Flowers is not only quick, but he has great hands. He's looking like Lamar Jackson's favorite weapon. Still trying to ease him into the offense, but I think he's primed for a big week this week against Pittsburgh. Especially Pittsburgh always do a great job stopping the run against Baltimore. I don't know how well they're going to do against the pass.
Can I be honest real quick?
Yeah.
I almost put him as a start, and then I actually almost flipped to a sit.
Whoa.
And then I was like, I don't even know at this point. Because we just held Tank Dell to like 3 fantasy points, and they're very similar players.
Yeah, but how much did Nico Collins have?
A lot.
Yeah. He's going to be playing the Nico Collins role.
He should have a big game. I was just a little concerned to put him at a start just because of Tank Dell, but we'll see. We always let a young player go off, so should be Zay. Yeah, most likely.
Pittsburgh are bad. Yeah, I can't lie. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Next start.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was your only start.
My only start.
Okay. My starts of the week. First off, I have Jahan Dotson against Chicago. I would definitely play him. I love the wide receiver 2 matchup against Chicago. Jalen Johnson's actually questionable for the game as well. So
play Terry too.
Yeah, play Terry too. If Jalen Johnson doesn't play, play Terry against Chicago. But I like that matchup, and Washington should be throwing for at least the first half. I do like them as favorites, but I think they will be throwing, and Jahan has looked like Sam Howell's main target. Yeah. So I really like that matchup. Next off, I have a running back. It's Breece Hall against Denver, or even Dalvin Cook. I don't hate that.
Running back against Denver, man.
Denver is allowing the most fantasy points to opposing running backs by a margin of over 15 at 50 per game.
Oh my god!
Combined running back
50 points.
50 points.
Oh my goodness.
Khalil Herbert was my last week pick. He was averaging 5 fantasy points. He dropped 22. Something crazy. He found the end zone. I would start both of them, honestly, without being too concerned. But I like Breece Hall over Dalvin Cook for sure.
He's definitely better.
Yeah. And then I'll move into my sits. First off, I would sit Jonathan Taylor and or Zach Moss if Jonathan Taylor's active versus the Titans. The Titans played Joe Mixon very well last week, and we just don't know Jonathan Taylor's role quite yet. So I wouldn't start him yet unless you're very running back slim.
Run defense is phenomenal in Tennessee. Yeah. So.
And that's my only sit.
Yeah, and my only sit is also another running back. I would sit Kyren Williams this week. I think for me personally, I have Kyren Williams. Questioning if I'm going to sit him or not. I'm pretty slim at running back. But I would sit Kyren Williams this week against Philly if you've got a lot of options. They've been doing phenomenal stopping the run. They're in the top 5 teams in the league in stopping the run. The defense is so good. And specifically, the rush defense is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So I would bench him. Yeah. He had a great week last week, but there's just too many questions. I struggle starting anyone against Philly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. All right. As usual, we're going to jump into our predictions for Week 5. This is what you all have been waiting for. All 3 of you. The hype has been built up. It's the Week 5 predictions.
Oh, my gosh.
Starting off with Thursday Night Football, which is tomorrow. We're hoping to have this out before, so we'll be quick because we might not. But it's the Bears versus Commanders. I'm picking the Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are better.
They are better.
And they almost beat Philly. Yeah. So I don't think...
Shout out to the Bears for almost winning a game last week.
Yeah, they definitely...
Almost won.
That was
such a 28-point lead. Yeah.
Lead blown. But, yeah, Chicago looked better. Obviously, in the first half
Justin Fields looked pretty good.
Yeah. But I like Washington this week. I like the matchups just against Chicago's defense. I think Washington...
I agree. Yeah. I'm picking Washington as well.
I gotta stop saying gets the job done. I'm trying to build some synonyms there because I've said I think Washington will get the job done 20 times.
I think Washington will get the job done.
They'll get the job done. All right, next up, starting our this is a 9:30 game actually. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills.
I'm also going to be taking the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, yeah. They just looked amazing. They just beat the Dolphins.
Jacksonville have been disappointing, but they won last week. Maybe bounce back. Maybe Josh Allen bozo game. Yeah. Never know.
You just can't predict those.
No,
so
can't predict.
Gotta go with Buffalo.
Gotta go Buffalo.
Gotta go with America's favorite there. Then we're gonna go to our 1:00 games: Houston Texans versus the Atlanta Falcons. I was actually back and forth on this one, but I am gonna go with the Houston Texans. They're just on fire. The Falcons didn't look great. Better coach team, maybe better team.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I was definitely up in the air about this one too. I ended up taking Atlanta. I think Atlanta's better. I like the Bijan Robinson idea.
Yeah, especially against Houston.
Yeah, Houston's rush defense isn't great, and I think Bijan will have a good game, and Atlanta's defense is pretty good. So we'll see, but I'm going to go with Atlanta.
Go with your next game.
And so for the next game is the Carolina Panthers against the Detroit Lions, my Detroit Lions.
Talk to them.
I will be picking my Detroit Lions to beat the Carolina Panthers at home. They ruined our season last year, so let's get some revenge because they are terrible this year.
Yeah, it shouldn't be close.
I'm pretty confident. This is the most confident I've been about a game all year. Is that we'll beat the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah,
this could age terribly.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to say there's no way. We should beat the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, for sure.
By a good amount.
Yep. I'm picking them too. Yeah. And I don't think it needs any explanation on my part. You guys are better. You're going to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop here for a second. I forgot to say this. Our standings for our pick'ems right now, we are neck and neck. Evan is 41-22, and I'm 40-23. So we're neck and neck. We'll see which ways our disagreements go this week, like the Falcons game, but this is getting pretty interesting.
Yeah.
We're in a group with probably 12 people, and we're 1 and 2.
So
yeah. It's really fun.
We're experts. ESPN, right. Please hire us if you're listening.
Please. All right, next game we got the Tennessee Titans and the Colts. This is another tough one to call.
Yeah.
Both played pretty well last week. Tennessee, obviously, they played very good defensively. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go with the Colts.
Really?
Yeah, I love Anthony Richardson. I love what they can do on offense there. I think they give Tennessee a harder.
He looked phenomenal against LA.
I think they just give the Tennessee Titans a harder time just with the things they can do. Bengals are kind of one-dimensional. I like what the Colts can bring to the Titans defense, and I think they win.
Yeah, I'm picking Tennessee for this one. Mm-hmm. I think they can throw some things at Anthony Richardson that he hasn't seen before. Vrabel's a great defensive mind.
Yeah.
I love the defense. Their defense is great at stopping the run. I don't know how well that's going to translate to stopping Anthony Richardson run, but I'm going to pick Tennessee. They've played better this year, I think, than Indy.
I would agree.
And I think that they're a better team. So I'm going to take Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't hate that, and I could see it going that way. I'm going to stick with my pick, though. Next game, we have the New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins. Do we do the count?
I don't know, man. Don't do the countdown.
I think we do the countdown.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Dolphins. Easy. Okay. New Orleans Saints, New England Patriots. This one's kind of hard to call for me. I am going to go with the Saints just because
back and forth.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints just because they have better weapons, and I like their defense, and New England just lost their best corner, and they looked horrible.
They just got J.C. Jackson back, though.
They did.
Which he was terrible for the Chargers.
Yeah.
But it's the Belichick effect.
Right, he can scheme up a corner.
I'm picking New England.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was back and forth, and they're home, so.
They're at home. They lost horribly last week, and, I see them bouncing back. The Saints also looked terrible. I don't really think we're talking about that, but they didn't look good at all against Tampa.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take New England at home.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Again, that could go your way. Next game. The Ravens are beating us. I know Kenny Pickett, it's a miracle. He's going to be able to play probably. He said he'll be ready to go. I still don't think we can beat the Ravens. They're playing very well. They're playing their best football all season. And we are playing our worst football all season. We're missing some crucial players, and we're not a good team. I think the Ravens win this pretty easily, and I hate to say that.
I'm taking Baltimore. I do think that Pittsburgh plays Baltimore well normally.
We always do, and it'll be close.
You think it'll be close?
It will. It's just how we play.
I actually am along the lines of thinking if Pittsburgh wins this game, it's going to be really close. But if Baltimore wins this game, they're going to blow them out.
Okay, that makes sense, honestly.
Yeah.
Because we always beat them, and it's always close.
Yeah.
We do this every year with divisional games. But
I don't know how much the Steeler effect is going to... How much closer it's going to bring you guys from...
Yeah. I mean, we did it with Duck Hodges. We'll see how we do it with Kenny Pickett.
Arguably worse than Duck Hodges.
Wow. CFL legend. He didn't even get the start in CFL.
Yeah, Baltimore. I'm taking
Baltimore's going to win, and I hope I'm wrong. Next up,
I hope you're right.
Next up, we have the Eagles and the Rams. You were sort of fooling me because I was trying to figure out who you were picking because you've picked the Rams like every week. And you were like, you actually think I picked the Rams? Did you pick the Rams? Did you? Evan.
No, I didn't pick the Rams.
I was going to say.
I wanted to so bad.
Yeah,
Put me on record. I want to pick the Rams to beat the Eagles this week. I do. I really do. I really, really want to pick the Rams to beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
Tell me that I can't pick the Rams to beat the Eagles because I will. I want to. So no,
you can switch it right now. I'm gonna give you the chance. I will give you the chance right now because I don't hate it.
I'm gonna. Justin, you gotta go. I gotta think, man.
Okay, I'm picking Philly. They have a lot of good weapons. They have a good defense.
Do they have Puka Nacua though?
Oh my god.
Do they have Puka Nacua?
No, they don't. That's why they're winning. No, Philly's just looked very good. I think, like I said, I think their defense starts to click a little more, and they've been good already. So I think they win. I know the Rams are incredibly coached, and they've looked very good, way better than last year, but Philly's the better team. I know it's in L.A. Philly's going to win.
Give me Philly. Reluctantly and under compulsion. Give me Philly.
Those are some big words. I don't think I understand. But we're going to move on to a fan base that can't understand big words. The Bengals.
No way. Yeah, they can't even spell Burrow. They got to say Burr. They don't even know how to spell
Joe Burr is very cold right now.
Joe Burr is terrible.
And they're playing the Cardinals, who have looked surprisingly better than we thought. However, the Bengals are going to beat
I really think that they will, right?
Yeah.
This has to be the bounce back week.
It's the week.
This is the week that we've been talking about since week 1.
We're going to keep saying it until it's a good take.
This is the week that...
But it should be. Because the Cardinals aren't a great defense.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but Josh Dobbs has actually outplayed Joe Burrow this season, and it's legitimately true take.
Yeah.
But again, this is the week. We both hate Cincy, but we're joining together and agreeing that this is the week where Cincy is going to start playing better.
Yeah. Shout out Bengals fans. I'm sure you can spell. I'm so sorry.
Dude, the one Bengals fan in the world that was a Bengals fan before 2014, it's going to be...
We lost all our Bengals fan listeners.
If you're a Bengals fan, you're listening, please listen. Just know that Joe Burrow is not good at
Spell
football.
Joe Burrow. All right. The Jets and the Broncos paint dry fest. I am going to go with the Jets because they're better and they almost beat the Chiefs.
I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. Because let Russ cook.
Oh, brother.
I'm going to go with Denver here. I may be questioning my pick, but I'm going to stick by it. Give me Denver.
I don't hate it just because it's Zach Wilson. He played well, but...
Can he play well 2 weeks in a row? You know what? If the Jets win, then I'll start picking them to win games that they should win.
We have a lot more different picks than I thought.
But until I'm consistently seeing Zach Wilson play competent quarterback, I'm going to continue to pick against him.
If the Broncos defense can play anywhere where we thought they would at the start of the season, we thought they were a pretty solid defense.
Yeah, shout out to Sean Payton being a bad coach.
Yeah, so if they start to click, I could see that, but the Jets are so much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, but their quarterback is Zach Wilson, and Russ actually has been playing pretty well.
Do they have to throw the ball is the question.
That's actually a very good argument.
It's in play.
That is in play. Zach Wilson might have 3 attempts this game.
Yeah.
So
and Pat Surtain's looked not top 1.
With the whole defense being so bad, it's hard for a corner to look good when the rest of the defense is terrible.
Right. All right, let's move on. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Vikings. This is another one we could 3-2-1, but I'm just going to say it's the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City. This would be a pretty random, maybe Minnesota bounce back. Could be a good shootout. It could be fun to watch.
Agreed. I think it'll be
give me Kansas City.
Yeah. Just think Kansas City brings more defense to it. I mean, obviously. Vikings are one of the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah. So, arguably the worst.
Yeah. Chiefs are winning. Let's move on to Cowboys versus 49ers on Sunday night. I believe we're different on this one just because I know who you are.
I cannot wait to watch this game.
Yeah, me too.
This is going to
be a fantastic game. However, the 49ers are winning by a 10-point margin.
10-point margin. Maybe more. My logic for my pick is the Dallas Cowboys. They looked... Let me say this very, very carefully. They literally looked perfect last week against New England. I know it's New England, and they're not great. But
New England, they've got a solid defense going.
Yeah, they looked perfect
Yeah.
against New England. San Francisco has to lose eventually. They're not winning 17 games. I think that they're a very, very, very good team. Brock Purdy is still yet to lose in the regular season, but they have to lose. And I think that the one game Brock Purdy's ever lost in his career was against Philly, whose defense was just so good that he got hurt. And I'm not saying that he's going to get hurt, but I am saying that I do think that Dallas's defense just might be too much for San Fran's offense to handle.
Yeah, and that's the one way that the Cowboys do win, in my opinion. Because I don't think they win in a shootout if both teams are scoring every drive.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to take Dallas.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
San Fran has to lose eventually.
Yeah. This would be the week, if any.
It's going to be this week.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Monday night, last game of the week, rather boring. We got the Packers versus the Raiders. I'm going to go with the Packers.
Me as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick the Packers. I strongly dislike the Packers, but the Raiders are looking like a dumpster fire.
And Jair Alexander on Devontae. I mean, Devontae will still play well.
Devontae's going to cook him. I will say at least one time that I'm going to see a video on Instagram of Devontae Adams cooking Jair Alexander, and Jair Alexander is going to say something funny in the press conference. It's like, that's on the NFL bingo card for this week. That's on my bingo card is...
That's funny.
Devontae's going to cook Jair, and then Jair's going to say something funny in the post-game interview when the Packers win by like 20.
Low-key, this is the Michael Mayer game. I don't know why that...
That's so
this
random.
This just popped in my head. I think...
The Michael Mayer game.
Start Michael Mayer.
Michael Mayer legacy game.
Low-key, though.
He has like one catch on the season.
I don't care.
Remember when people were like so angry? They were ready to uproar. They were ready to like... burn the entire Lions organization to the ground because they took Sam Laporta.
I didn't hate on it.
Over Michael Mayer.
I didn't hate on it.
And Sam Laporta looks like the best rookie tight end of all time.
That might be our best take on this podcast. I know it's fantasy.
But like Sam Laporta being tight end 3.
Yeah. I said top 3.
He literally is tight end 2.
He's 2 right now.
In the league. Shout out to all of the haters who hated on the Lions draft class just for them to win the entire draft this year. So
I love it.
Appreciate you guys.
And Jameer hasn't even broken out yet.
Exactly.
And when he
does, wait for him to break out.
That'll be an all-time draft.
We're going to have 5 starters from this draft class.
Love it. Yeah, Packers winning, right?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. That's going to do it for this episode. As usual, we have the verse of the week. It is Matthew 22:37 through 40. This is when Jesus is asked by a Pharisee who is an expert in the law what the greatest commandment in the law is. And Jesus replies in verse 37, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on those 2 commandments." Beautiful.
Great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Love God, love people.
Amen.
Have a great week, guys.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us. Peace.